So we are preparing now for you guys the finals of the SEA qualifiers for Dreamhack Valencia.
The main event indeed. This is gonna be the
Yes.
BO5 Grand Finals between Team Pavallione and Team FearUS. And we are again your casters for this afternoon.
Yes, I am Asarai, one hell of a beast, and of course here with me now is
Wolf, the other beast, and we are beastly right now. We are hyped. We want the action, and we will see it from Team Pavallione versus Team FearUS as we are heading into map number 1, which is Serpent Beach.
All right, so without any more delay, without further ado, let's start the finals. Serpent Beach, here we go.
Here we go indeed. Pavallione gets the first pick onto the Makoa, but of course FearUS answers with the Maldamba plus the Drogos, which will then secure KingMOECCHI to get the Nando as their latter phase picked for Team FearUS.
All right, so let's have a rundown of our players. iShawshanks, Leo, AMWN, Farrell, and GODFRYZZ for Pavallione.
And for Team FearUS, you have KingMOECCHI, RestrictedGOD, Agnical, FeezleFeez, and AstralGodMyuji on, of course, that Ruckus. But more importantly, they have the Fernando plus the Maldamba combo that they were successful in the last series that they had. But of course,
yeah, straight off the bat, you can see Death Hastens, Pluck, and Focusing Lens.
Okay.
So all damage output to legendary cards here for Pavallione, while FearUS, of course.
Yeah, of course, with the Aegis, Fizzlot, of course, Ripened Gourd, and Flux Generator, like this a lot, and Recurve. Okay. For FeezleFeez here, he wants the damage output, but in terms of dealing a lot of damage, his aim is actually pretty good for a Shaolin player. That's why he prioritized drawing his bow much faster.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other legendary card you can actually get for a Shaolin. I mean,
yeah, that will net you the most out of the damage in terms of damage output. There, it's actually, I don't know. Maybe you could consider Shifting Sands to gain 100% lifesteal while during the heat haze, but I don't think that matters so much.
Yeah, because it's only your ultimate. If you think about the damage or the consistency of that compared to Recurve, with every pullback of the bow that you have, at least you have impact 100% of the time. But then with heat haze, you have to wait for your ultimate, and sometimes you don't actually get that quick charge up to your finale skill, so to speak. So it's not really well to use.
Yeah, I think so too. But of course, the Pluck from this Mako, one of the pretty standards one. He's gonna go for the Cauterize though, and two Wreckers on the side of Team Pavallione, and I like this. They are kind of dealing against Team FearUS with a lot more damage. They know that they can overwhelm even the Fernando with a lot of Cauterize, as well as the Wreckers up on their item pool right now.
Yeah, all aggression all day long. iShawshanks, of course, on the Cassie, or rather on the Ying. But again, this is like what we're talking about. They can go for the hybrid damage dealers. They can just leave the illusions up and then, just help your teammates eliminate the opponents.
Take the fight from there as well. So now there is going to be 12 seconds left until we draw the first horn for our matchup. This is again the grand finals. Whoever wins this will advance to Dreamhack Valencia later this July. There's gonna be the quick charge as a 5-man unit from the side of Team FearUS here. The opening salvo. Here we go. It's gonna be the first blood. Might be on to Fernando. He's falling very low, but he has the shield. He has the healing.
Staying alive for so long. Finds out the Ying, but he has to go back to his team and be that front line that they need to. Although he spots out this support, iShawshanks has to be very careful. But then MOECCHI himself has to be a little bit more defensive here, as he could get taken down by Pavallione.
The micro skills from KingMOECCHI. He knows his limits. He knows that he's not gonna get killed as easily. The hook lands, but not gonna get capitalized upon. It's gonna be a toss-up here in the middle as Team FearUS is leading 69% to
and
the
Agnical
payload.
gets taken down, and FearUS slowly but surely able to get themselves to a very high amount or very generous amount of percentage cap already. KingMOECCHI still surviving here, spots out GODFRYZZ, and he might actually flambe this, well, this Androxus, but he doesn't. He gets away. Reversal, just enough to keep him alive for that very clenched moment.
Against 3 heroes, your aggression as a tank will not pay off. Definitely, he was punished by that, and it might mean that Pavallione could have taken this first capture point. 93% on the objective, but it's being stopped right now as there's gonna be quite a big turn of events here in the middle part of the map.
Dread Serpent, I believe, was activated there by the Moldamba. Pushes back iShawshanks, and that could have been enough push here for Pavallione to actually get to the point. 3 members killed already from FearUS. Make that into the 4th, and Pavallione have pushed this into overtime, and they will be able to get themselves that point. GODFRYZZ into the front lines, and he will actually start it off or end it.
Pavallione gets the first point. As you've said right now, they are now pushing out at this point. I think FearUS needs to regroup. They cannot fight head-on against the 5 champions of Team Pavallione. He's coming up hot right now. There's going to be quite a salvo in there, but not going to land on anything. This is going to be a bruise. The fire spit, though, not going to land as well. The hook onto the Ruckus, but he's quite a tanky hero.
Yeah, not really the prime target there for AMW. You can really see that he was keeping his right click primed for a better or squishier target right here, but he wasn't able to be as lucky because FearUS again have that double tank composition, and KingMOECCHI just so damn good on this on this Fernando. Even if AMW does connect that anchor, still not enough to get the shutdown.
Indeed, he anticipated with that anchor, the charge from Fernando. Good map awareness, good game sense from the Makoa player right there. But of course, the more important thing here is the payload. There's gonna be the Dragon Punch. Will it land on anyone? He's not gonna find it.
He's looking for this Androxus, but no! RestrictedGOD diving in a little bit too deep and could get shut down here, but his flight gives him a little bit of safety. Into the air as he goes, but too many hit scans here from the side of Pavallione will get the shutdown onto him.
He was too ambitious on getting that Androxus. I think it was too much of a, it was too ambitious, and he will not get anything out of it.
Yeah, speaking of which, there is a 2-man or 3-man, or actually 2-man hit scan here for Pavallione going up against this Drogos. But again, with good positioning, a Drogos can really survive even with that much of a hit scan, I guess, threats from Pavallione.
That is true. I totally agree with that. But, of course, FearUS still doing a great job in not letting Pavallione get the upper hand into this payload.
He stops the Androxus! A cursed arm with a mid-air shot. That's RestrictedGOD for you.
Oh, wow. I'm totally impressed. That 180 turn. Well, I guess it's not totally 180, but still a good track from RestrictedGOD. He gets shut down, but a play is a play, and he did shut down that Androxus with his ultimate.
That mid-air kill for Androxus, it's gonna be like when you watch animes, you're gonna say, Nani? Nani? Nani?
Yeah, what the hell really happened there? But there's gonna be the overtime.
KingMOECCHI does have the Immortal here, so he's gonna be able to activate that if need be. But first of all, he's gonna be using that shield, going for the front line, charging in, spotting out this Ying into the back line, has to go for the invisibility.
Wow.
And again, he can just go this aggressive just because he does have the safety of his teammates, plus that ultimate.
But they have defended successfully.
Doesn't even need to.
Doesn't even need to, indeed. But again, this will be available of the coming match. I really like how Drogos has been managing his damage output because he's always on point with his aim. That also meant that his ultimate will charge up very quickly. I think he's already 100% twice on one round, which is quite impressive on a Drogos player. That means that another threat of the ultimate is available for the Team FearUS right now.
Plus you have to keep in check. Like, the Drogos, I think, is probably one of the best DPS right about now just because he has every aggressive kit, and in terms of like the damage that he deals, he has no fall off damage because it's just rockets all day long. All he has to do is find a good angle, keep that angle alive, just throw out your rockets, and that should be it. There's going to be the scout here from the Cassie. So that's going to spot out a lot of the members here from FearUS, or all of the members rather.
Very aggressive maneuver from the Nando. Might get punished, but he still got the Immortal, so he's not FeezleFeez right now. He is very aggressive, but Ruckus will be taken down by Pavallione in there, and they might have taken the point. The Cassie almost falling low, but not gonna die just yet. There's gonna be the Lex as well, dealing a lot of damage. The Dragon Punch!
That Makoa, that should be a prime target here for RestrictedGOD, and he does. Salvo comes out from the Drogos, and Leo shuts him down with the dash in, kill in.
But that doesn't matter because they are being decimated by FearUS, only getting the kill on the Drogos. That meant that 4 heroes are ready for the onslaught of Pavallione. In fact, FearUS is now 72%, 75% into taking the payload.
I mean, Ancient Rage plus the Prism from the Makoa plus Ying combo could be good, but then it's not really good enough that they might be able to get this.
The answer is no, at least
AMWN
looks like.
doesn't actually use his ultimate right there.
Okay, that's okay. Pretty decent. At least he didn't commit it, but of course 99% onto the objective. This means that the payload will be up for Team FearUS, and Pavallione didn't even bother to defend that after the overtime. Has been deactivated.
GODFRYZZ in a 1v1 has to go dash up, jump up, and look at that. He does have a pretty tight angle on KingMOECCHI. Does have the Cursed Arm as well, but he has to be a bit careful as he might get taken out by the Drogos, who does have him a little bit in his sights.
A little bit in his sights indeed. Good positioning from GODFRYZZ so far. He wants to get the flank, but he's quite being anticipated by Pavallione. It looks like they know what he wants to do, and they really knew what he's doing, and they killed him right off the bat after he showed himself.
Yeah, mid-air. I can see there he did have the mid-air right click.
Yeah.
Or actually Q, but wasn't able to.
Yep. Sadly for him.
Survive,
but
yeah.
Of course, Team FearUS just pushing this payload. It's quite a slow push. Again, Pavallione doing a decent job defending this objective, but look at that. Fernando is really aggressive right now. He is unfazed, but his shield is falling very low. There's going to be the quick charge away.
Here's the thing. We really didn't talk about too much this matchup. This is the matchup that we were really looking forward to. FearUS versus Pavallione.
No?
Yeah, GODFRYZZ for the Pavallione side, and then for FearUS, you do, of course, have the two gods, Restricted and AstralGodMyuji.
Indeed.
Yeah, so what do you think?
I'm really impressed by both of these two. I think they kind of have the same role. They're damage dealers, but still they have the flankers. They always go as two if they want to kill someone. For example, if AstralGod goes in first, there's gonna be always a backup from the other gods, GODFRYZZ of course, so that they can close in on a kill.
Yeah. All right. So no more analysis right now because it looks like, well, FearUS are pushing this payload relentlessly. Could go for that 3 points already, as we are almost done with our second match. 20 seconds left into the clock. This is going to be clutch time here for Pavallione. Can they actually do it? There's no more Ancient Rage for the Makoa as he already activates it, goes into the back line, and you can see KingMOECCHI activates himself, that Immortal. Wow. There's the Serpent, Dread Serpent as well into the front lines, and FearUS actually have control. The Ying onto the point, trying to do the best that he can to actually go for the delay. Wow. Can he actually do it? They're trying to trickle in as close as they can. GODFRYZZ into the front line. No, gets shut down by KingMOECCHI, and that's going to be push successful from the FearUS side. The red team gets themselves a 3-1. One more point.
The gods from FearUS have been in the earth, in the realm of champions, and KingMOECCHI was there to witness, to facilitate for the gods to shine on that skirmish. Look at that. He was present on all throughout that skirmish. It is like he's on an immortal. It is as if he's activated his immortal, even though he didn't, because he stayed for far too long. And of course, the other gods to deal the damage. That was a perfect fight.
They were so close to the respawn point, but still the damage, the pickoff. So they really forced Pavallione to go for the trickle, but it was not enough.
It was not enough indeed. There's gonna be another aggressive here because FearUS is only 1 point away from the map, and look at that!
Gets taken out quickly by FearUS, and that might have been their downfall.
The true god of the Fernando. I think he's one of the best Fernando users. Look at that.
Without a doubt. He is just flourishing right now with the flamethrower, with the flame lance, everything. Restricted God's gonna swat away this Cassie. Look at that. He was like, okay, I'm gonna deal some damage into your behind, and then Restricted God's like, you know what? I'm gonna brush you off just for a second. Still gets taken down, but still
does the job, I think. But of course, FearUS will. I mean, Team Pavallione might still get this objective. Look at that, 75%, and FearUS is in no position with 2 men down on their side. It looks like they are going to concede this, which is far the better option. But sadly, they won't get the win after this map because, of course, you cannot win out of a defense. But still, they need to defend this well so that they get the upper hand heading to the next round.
Yeah, true that. Or, you know, you can just how do you say this? They can just stack up their ultimates and then maybe just give the 3-3 already. But of course, like you said, they can do just that if they're gonna be patient enough and you know, not be overly aggressive here on the defense. There's the hook onto the Maldamba. 2 straight kills for Pavallione, and well, they're very low in HP, but they are still dealing the damage.
I guess that's
still surviving as well.
The key here for Team FearUS is that they don't have to be overly aggressive. They don't have to be overly zealous. They are on the lead right now, but they can be snatched. That can be snatched as easily from the Team Pavallione. It's going to be the Red Serpent driving away Team Pavallione. Will this be enough? Salvo, though, okay.
You can't salvo mid-air this Androxus, man. He's just too damn slippery. And GODFRYZZ able to get away from the clutches of death, from the clutches of Restricted. And there you go. Here goes FearUS pushback.
Aerial fight will not net anyone. Wants to find a kill, but of course he finds the real Ying on the side. There's gonna be the dodge from the hook, but of course still Team FearUS kind of stopping this push. But of course Pavallione readying up for the onslaught. They want to fight.
Look at that!
Whoa.
He just dodges, or rather absorbs the salvo with his.
Look at this duel though. GODFRYZZ versus Restricted God. Who is the better God? It looks like it's gonna be GODFRYZZ winning that duel against the Drogos. But still gonna get the kill on KingMOECCHI. GODFRYZZ with the cursed arm. Double kill. Gonna get shot down
very aggressive into that one. I don't think he got the most optimal damage output from his ultimate, but still he was able to. Restricted God does get hooked in, but he won't survive.
Won't survive indeed. Team Delta might have found their stride. They found their openings. They are seizing it right now. They are. Oh, look at that hook out to Shaolin. But he is quite slippery. Still falling very low. He might get found by the Androxus. He's actually on the flex with activating his ultimate to just dodge all of this attacks, and it might have been enough though.
AMW looking all directions as everybody was just battering onto the poor Tortoise. And look at that, AstralGodMyuji spots out the one-man. Defense successful. So this is still Pavallione 2 points before they can actually win this game. But FearUS, they have to really get the cap, or else it's gonna be GG, or rather, or else it's gonna be GG. For Pavallione.
First map might go in favor of FearUS up to this point because, of course, they are in the lead. 3 out of the 4 points. And of course, if they get to the point first, they will close up this first map of the best of 5 series grand finals. I'm so excited for this. The action is so intense, Azurai.
Yeah, this is where Paladins goes into being that early FPS into a how do you say this? A
brawl.
Featured, into a real brawl.
Yeah. Look at this.
It's a legit title, so to speak. There you go, legit title.
Look, you go Nando again, back at what he's been doing with a very aggressive play, but Shaolin might pay the price. He's still gonna survive because of his dodginess. This Nando will be shut down. KingMOECCHI will be slayed by Leo.
Yeah, goes in. Actually, there's a very weird sound registration from that Lex, but still he does get the damage with the right click. Drag. There is going to be, I believe, the cursed arm from this
Androxus. Ancient Rage is available for Smako, but might not need it. It looks like Pavallione have found the opening to really decimate the side of FearUS. Look at that. They won't find the Nando. Wow. Salvo being dodged again by the reversal from this Androxus. I don't think you call it
dodge. He's more of like, I'm going to absorb every single rocket that you're going to be putting out right now. Actually, that wasn't a ultimate from Androxus. He still has his ultimate on cooldown, 90%. And still, Pavallione might be able to get the cap onto this point, but FearUS is saying, no, can they deal it?
There you go!
Barrages to the backline, not getting any kills, and You saw there, GODFRYZZ actually dodging out the Dragon Punch from the Drogos.
Still gonna get the kill onto Ying, but of course, Agnical will be sprayed down by GODFRYZZ, but of course, the Rookies was there ready for him. Drogos is now back into the frame. Might get the, I don't know, the shutdown onto this onslaught from Team Delta.
Just Farrell thinks he's trying to push this into overtime, but this could be it.
This could be it.
Someone has to dash in right now. GODFRYZZ is right there. Can he actually do it? It's going to be at least the
reversal.
No, the reversal, but it's not enough. And that's going to be FearUS with the victory.
Team FearUS, they were patient. They were, okay, I won't say that they are patient because they were pretty aggressive heading to the fight, but that's only their opening salvo. For example, they start the fight, they start the round with a very aggressive maneuver on the back of their Nando player, then afterwards pick the fight from there. Then they systematically take on the fight, being patient with their team fights, always comboing on their skills. That's why they were able to close out that match. Sadly for Team Pavallione, they didn't have someone on the point.
The other thing here for Pavallione is most of their champions, let's say the Lex and the Sandroxus, really has to go for that, I would say, flank. And the problem is, if they don't get, again, the pickoffs that they need, they kind of are a little bit out of position. Of course, if they don't have the mobility to get away from that. I think that Droxus does have, but then Leo, I don't know if he's done the best that he can right now in this fight. He does at least have some pretty shy kills, does have good damage as well, but I don't know. Maybe that's the weak point here for Pavallione.
I think they really need to adjust heading into Game 2 because we are actually headed to Jaguar Falls. And as we have seen, is FearUS gonna get the first pick onto the Drogos. It can shine onto Jaguar Falls. Of course, Jaguar Falls is not that clump. There's still a lot of verticality available for Drogos. It's still quite a good pickup, but Pavallione will answer with their Makoa and the Androxus. And then FearUS will get their Damba, the Maldamba as well as the Shaolin.
Yeah, so guys, we really we weren't able to show to you the drafting of the champions plus the veto of the maps, but like we said, we do have at least the listings here, and like Wolf did iterate to us, the first pick was from FearUS and they got themselves the Drogos. So let's go immediately to our next map and see where this goes. This is a best of 5. Pavallione, actually, wait, hold that thought.
Hold that thought, as we are just gonna correct some of the nomenclature there. As of course, Pavallione will still get the Ying for themselves, but FearUS, something out of their pockets, will bring out the Bump King as well as the Barrack. And of course, if you want to have that Barrack, you're kind of a slow-paced, kind of sieging type of draft. But I don't know. We know FearUS as a very aggressive type of playstyle. Their playstyle is very aggressive. Maybe they can change up a bit. Maybe they're gonna show us how to be aggressive even with a Barrack as a tank.
All right. So now let's go into our next map. I believe it will be Jaguar Falls. And with that showing, I think Pavallione can really push this into a Game 5, but that's where, we can be wrong. Still, I do think that Pavallione are the ones to be able to beat FearUS, but, well, I could be wrong.
Anyway, KingMOECCHI will be the self-appointed knight, or the Barrack Agnical.
I think that's self-appointed knight is Fernando.
Yeah, I guess so.
We can't really trust this this title.
Well, yeah, that's KingMOECCHI onto the Barrack. Agnical will be back on his Maldamba RestrictedGOD with the Bump King. FeezleFeez, of course, with his Shaolin. And AstralGodMyuji on his Drogos, as the Team Pavallione will close out with Team FearUS, close out with triple damage dealers.
Yeah, and here for the side of Pavallione, we'll be having iShawshanks on the Makoa. GODFRYZZ, of course, on the Androxus AMWN on his Ying, Farrell with the Ruckus, and last but not least, Leo on the Cassie.
They have changed up. They relegated AMWN on the support role as well, giving the Makoa to someone else. But looks like they are faltering against Team Pavallione right now.
FeezleFeez noticed there's someone onto the left side, has to back away, but he gets hooked straight in. And of course, this Shaolin is no more.
No more
Actually looking for a
indeed.
pun right there, but I couldn't find any. Agnical slithers away from the fight, trying to get a better angle here. But he has to be careful as he gets hooked in by, well, this cute-looking Blastoise.
Yeah, a very cute turtle.
I don't know if you can say that, but it does look like he's a very cute Blastoise.
I guess he is indeed very cute there. But, of course, his antics are not cute. He can deal the damage, he can deal the hook, he can kill you if you are unawares. But, of course, Pavallione will secure the first round here with the first payload, of course. Salvo not gonna do a lot of damage there.
GODFRYZZ into the sidelines, looking for the angle. But, of course, with this Androxus, really don't want to go for this long range because you do have that damage fall off with your revolver. And so you have to be careful as well.
Careful as well indeed, but look at this, the Shaolin. This is the one who doesn't mind going in from the range. Look at that, he eliminated the tank already with the range hook onto Bum King, but I think that wouldn't be enough. Actually, it will be with four champions converging against him. But still, the payload is being pushed fairly quickly right now. 144 remaining, but still 60% onto that progression.
Laying into the silence, go into a 1v1 duel between his, I would say, nemesis archer. That's going to be Shaolin. Don't think we do have any other bow type champions here in Paladins.
RestrictedGOD getting shut down twice in a row. He doesn't deal enough damage to help his team. Right now, he needs to shine onto his Bum King because Leo is just decimating against this Pavallione squad. Even with no flankers, they play like as if they are flanking.
Yeah, Dread Serpent will be used from the side here of FearUS just to control at the choke point. And they do push them back just a little bit.
Oh, time to change.
There's going to be at least the Prism activated for the Ying, just for that top off on his teammates, keeping them alive for as long as possible.
But Pavallione still dropped a lot of heroes there. It looks like FeezleFeez wants to dismount the upcoming charge from Pavallione, but not gonna find anyone there.
Yeah, I think he's hearing Leo right now. If he gets the connection.
Wow.
Wait, what was that? He didn't get the stun. That was... I'm not sure what was that.
Maybe he just clipped him, I don't know. But the salvo, okay, deals a significant amount of damage, but not gonna get a close-up.
He does have the Dragon Punch, but very low in HP as GODFRYZZ is hot on its tracks. Has to back away. Does have the Fire Spit. And look at this, AstralGodMyuji actually surviving for such a long time. 15 seconds remaining indeed. They also get the shutdown onto the front liners. And here comes AstralGodMyuji looking in for the punch. Can he actually get it? Does hit the ultimate as well. Fire Spit just for safety. And it looks like FearUS pushing this into a 1-1 scoreline.
1-1, a very clutch movement from AstralGodMyuji, landing the specific kills on important targets, as well as getting the Dragon Punch onto the Ying, which meant that there wouldn't be any more supports for the side of FearUS, so that dissuaded them to really re-establishing control of the payload. Good clutch from AstralGodMyuji there.
Yeah. You have to take note, guys, or rather from those who are just viewing in, this is already the finals for the SEIA Regional Qualifiers of Dreamhack Valencia. We are already on our second game. First game, it was the win for FearUS, and now we are on a second match, but it looks kind of, well, a little bit more even.
I guess.
Exactly.
And if you can see just the credits department here, I think it's pretty decent on both ends of the team, although, as you can see, Pavallione getting more items, but the mastery in terms of tiers is going to be favoring FearUS with 2 points on the Cauterize on most of their cores and 2 points on the Wrecker for their damage dealers right now. Of course, that will pierce through the armor-heavy lineup of Team Pavallione across their Makoa pick, as well as the Ruckus, who, of course, has a lot of shield going in favor of them.
Interestingly enough, Shawshanks playing Makoa rather than AMW.
That is something that maybe they've changed up a bit. Maybe their Makoa player is indeed Shawshanks, but of course, still a lot to prove. It goes for the resilience, though. Maybe to counteract the Amaldamba.
Oh, you just lost everybody! That's not going to be good for you, Drogos! And he backs away, does have the flight, but he will get shot down. 5 members straight into his face from Pavallione. Not really the best of situations there for the Dragon.
And of course, the hook right on the mark. Shawshanks proving to be a dead shot on his anchors. There's going to be Shaolin! Double kill!
Double kill for FeezleFeez here. And you can really see him sizzle his opponents to death.
That's a quick takedown for FearUS. They have control of the point right now. 51%, make that 54, and it looks like Shaolin still does a good job dismounting Pavallione from potentially charging there.
True that, but FearUS definitely having a good control of this point, and nobody from Pavallione quick enough to actually push it and maybe contest. So that's gonna be, well, objective captured here for FearUS. All they have to do now is push it to a 3-point, and then we can maybe see them close out this second map. But Pavallione will hopefully say no to that.
Yeah, definitely good. Well played from Shaolin, as I've mentioned before. He gets the double kill and then gets onto the role playing of getting the champions of FearUS dismounted, which is very important when you're defending a point.
Here's the big thing. Like, AstralGodMyuji is on a Drogos who does deal all of his AoE damage. Granted, of course, his that type of damage really good on small enclosures because he can hit everybody in the small room. The problem is, it kind of doesn't make sense why he would, try to fly in that room.
I guess.
You're like clipping your wings.
Yeah, you're essentially giving yourself as a sacrifice to your opponents. Look at that. That's something that GODFRYZZ got him cornered.
Yeah, cornered the BK right there.
The Bomb King.
And you can see that he did use his King Bomb just to maybe deal extra damage, but still
not successful.
Yeah, Pavallione with the contest onto the point. They do know, I think, that FearUS is going to be coming onto the right side. Although they have to be careful. Barrack goes in a little bit too aggressive.
Wow.
And GODFRYZZ has to be careful on himself. He's not really a tanky champion.
That is
he
true.
does have the reversal, but not the best item. Spots him out.
Also have the Cursed Arm, but still needs to position himself pretty well.
Well, he's not going to be, tanky if he goes to the Cursed Arm. He's just going to have a really good AoE damage, but he gets spotted off. He will get taken down, and iShawshanks finds the Barrack. Will be able to actually hook him in front of him and survives. Survives
indeed. That's quite a tanky title champion. Still a frontline to a certain degree, even though he's kind of slow-paced as compared to the other ones. But Ruckus, though, wrecking ham in here. But he's still
into the front lines. But of course, the tank absorbing all of the damage has to be a bit careful, as he is the recipient of all of that output from his opponents. And 20 seconds left, and it should be a 2-2 here if Pavallione can keep their hands or their feet planted firmly onto this payload.
That is true. And now 10 seconds. Let us see if there's going to be a move from Team FearUS right now. It looks like they want to. Grumpy Bomb might get the mark.
That could be a huge Grumpy Bomb right there.
But, of course, there's going to be the overtime. Okay, they have capitalized. They have zoned them out pretty well. They might even close this one because the heroes of Pavallione are falling very low. 3 down on Pavallione. 3 still alive on FearUS, and they might also get the Drogos. No, he won't be. Okay, he will still be taken down, but still overtime is up for Team FearUS.
That was very impressive there from RestrictedGOD. He clutched so much. Where is your accursed arm, GODFRYZZ? Will you unleash it? Will you allow FearUS to actually commence? No, he goes in with a double. Trying to actually go in, dip in, dash in and out. Trying to do the best that he can. Can't do it just yet.
AstralGodMyuji, he's on the mark. He anticipated the positioning from the Androxus pretty well. It's as if he sacrificed both of his teammates to land that kill on the Androxus, which is far more crucial because you only need one champion to be present on the payload for it to be pushed successfully, and it was indeed what happened with FearUS. Now they have 3 points, and if they take this capture point, they will take map number 2.
Yeah, that's the thing here. RestrictedGOD has been so good on this BK, kind of picking up the slack somewhat from the Androxus, who has been somewhat lackluster. Yeah, as well as, of course, this Drogos. But, of course, Myuji, all he has to do is deal chip damage, AoE damage, and they should be fine. Pavallione really doing a whole lot.
A whole lot, indeed. They will
Scout.
Rush. Okay. This is the far better positioning. Instead of the Drogos, get the Bomb King to deal that damage onto that choke point.
He tries to go for the 3. Tries to connect that Poppy Bomb. He gets the connection onto the stun, though, onto iShawshanks, and that's huge here from FearUS. Use the Poppy Bomb, and look at how much mobility the RestrictedGOD has. He's being chased down by GODFRYZZ, but no! The Dragon Punch comes in, and he gets saved by the skin of his teeth.
He gets saved. And RestrictedGOD can't be aggressive because he has a very low HP right now. If he gets found here, he might pay the price. But of course, FearUS is unfazed with this no flank lineup. Still gets the flank kills with the mastery of aim from their champions, from their players right now. Look at that bomb king.
Or break for Pavallione. They have to stop FearUS right now from trying to cap on this point. Ancient Rage activated by iShawshanks, but he really couldn't do too much. RestrictedGOD is trying to at least get that micro against the Androxus, but will not be able to do so. And this should be it for FearUS. Can he actually push this into overtime? It's taking quite quickly here. They should really just get somebody right there. Farrell's doing the best that he can, but no! Gets obliterated by Myuji. And that's going to be FearUS with a 2-0 lead against Pavallione.
Drogo says, no, you cannot stand at the point. I am the dragon. I control this point. And indeed, they did. That's going to be the 2-0 favoring Team FearUS right now. And it looks like Pavallione, what adjustments should they do? Well, I think they were quite shocked with the amount of damage dealers from the side of Team FearUS. They have 3 damage dealers. This is not the ideal lineup that we wanted, that the meta dictates, because the meta says that you need at least 1 flank type of hero. But with the mastery of skills, with the mastery of the movements from the mobility of the damage dealers from Team FearUS, it is as if they have the flankers on their side.
Yeah, I just think that GODFRYZZ is underperforming heavily right now from Pavallione. He's not the same GODFRYZZ that we know. He's being shut down time and time again here by well, FearUS.
Yeah.
And FearUS really has, like, if Pavallione have GODFRYZZ as their main DPS, FearUS has 3 DPS to work with. They have RestrictedGOD, they have AstralGodMyuji, and FeezleFeez on these 3 champions. So it's really a tall task here,
I guess,
for, well, Pavallione to deal with, because I don't think they have the best type of damage when they go for the pickoffs. When they get the hooks, they really can't immediately eliminate their opponents.
No, that's I totally agree with that, actually. Good thing that you pointed that out, because they are capitalizing on getting the hooks, which iShawshanks kind of did a perfect job with, but with, of course, the lack of damage output, like the burst, instant burst type, or maybe the sustainable type of damage output, because they are finding the troubles getting the kills that they wanted. As a matter of fact, look at the eliminations, always favoring the side of Team FearUS right there.
Yes, and of course, while we are going into halftime, so to speak, let's show a little bit of codes for our viewers out there who are, you know, trying out Paladins for the first time, wanting to get themselves new champions, or if they've been playing for a long time but they don't have the champions, they can at least, you know, get it quickly and without too much difficulty if you have fast typing hands. If you have that fast typing hands.
Indeed, you do have to be fast with your hands, because of course whoever gets the first redemption will secure the champion code. Only one will get the champion codes, guys. So if you typed in the code and you see that it's already been redeemed, well, sadly for you, someone already has got it. Eevee will be the next champion here.
So guys, you do have to take note that FearUS, for those who are asking in the chat, FearUS, 3 of their members came from Sea Monster, which was how do we say this? The top C team before, but now they were somewhat dethroned yesterday by FearUS. Immediately in the group stage, they were in a best of 3 matchup, and they lost 2-0.
Yeah. That happens though, but of course, this is still quite early for most of the Southeast Asian teams. Again, there are many more tournaments upcoming. This is just the start of the legitimization, I guess, of the Southeast Asian region as a Paladins esports channel. Again, this is again the first Southeast Asian tournament leading into Dreamhack, of course, and whoever wins this. And it looks like FearUS is just 1 game away of not only being hailed as the Southeast Asian champions, but also being the representative for Southeast Asia in the upcoming Dreamhack Valencia later this July. And of course, quite a big bounty of gold. I mean, big bounty of cash with 3,000 USD to win after this championship.
If I'm not mistaken, FearUS is a combination of Vietnamese and Indonesian players. I could be wrong, but from what it looks like, that is because they came from Sea Monsters, which has a mix of Vietnamese and Indonesian players.
Pavallione, on the other hand, I think is a purely Indonesian team, if I'm not mistaken. Was I correct, Azra? Are they all Indonesians?
Yeah, we can actually just double check later on with the.
Yep, they are all Indonesian team, ranked second best.
All right.
Of course.
All right, so without further ado, if we don't have any more delays, let's get straight into our third and possibly final map here in our best of 5, which is going to be Frog Isles. Frog
Isle, indeed. And Pavallione will snatch the Drogos, which is one, as we always say, one of the best champions to get into Frog Isle. A lot of verticality, a lot of space for him to work with, and he can deal a lot of damage if he is masterful. But FearUS will answer with the Makoa and the Shaolin once again. FeezleFeez is quite on point with his Shaolin champion right now.
AMW actually stealing the Fernando here from KingMOECCHI, but MOECCHI is not really that person who, without the Fernando, cannot do a frontliner. He can actually play a pretty mean Makoa.
That is true. Agnical back at the support with the Ying. RestrictedGOD is going to have the Bomb King right now. I hope he flourishes with this because...
he has been.
He has been, of course.
Yeah, the Accelerant really helping him out with the mobility. And I think this is what they really need to do right now. In the meta, Bomb King is just so contested because of this AoE damage output and fast mobility that he does have. So I think, nerfing that a little bit might make it easier for people to go up against it, because all he has to do is put down a Grumpy Bomb at a choke point and nobody from the opponent's side will actually want to go in.
Indeed, there won't be. There's going to be toss-up here. Fernando. Shield is going to go down the hook onto the buck. Might get punished. But, of course, he still will be alive with the first blood, though. Will be drawn from the bloods of Fernando. Still.
Leo in a 2v1. He has to back away, but no, he hits into a wall and actually bruises his head. A little bit too bad for the Lex right there. And here, KingMOECCHI looking for a hook, looking to the silence, but he fell a little bit short there.
Fell a little bit short, maybe. I think it's definitely short, but of course, FearUS still controlling this point. No answer whatsoever from Pavallione as they're being decimated by this Ruckus, as well as this, this Bomb King and the Shaolin. Look at that. Hits every mark.
Hits every mark, indeed. GODFRYZZ playing with the buck. This is the first time I actually seen him onto this flanking type of champion. He's gonna go in aggressive, trying to chase down onto the BK, and if he doesn't connect this shot, this would be very detrimental here for the side of Pavallione, but he does get the 1-for-1 trade, committing a little bit too much into that one.
1-for-1 so far, but still the payload is moving favor of Team FearUS right now. Pavallione drops the buck, and it looks like they are in no position as they're being flanked away by this KingMOECCHI. Very aggressive type of player, and with the Makoa, he can have the license to be aggressive.
Yeah, aggressive that way. And GODFRYZZ trying to at least get some eliminations from the backline, but he's spotted right here. He has to go and wait for the heals from out of combat.
Ooh.
But they know where he is. He's not going to be able to do too much. Spots out the Shaolin, but there's a heat haze for him. GODFRYZZ going in a bit too aggressive here. He gets the 1 kill. He's using his shotguns to at least make somewhat of a temporary wall of damage here so that FearUS would be a little bit hesitant to actually go in. Spots out the Bomb King here, and GODFRYZZ stuck on a tree like a cat. But there he goes, activates on his target, and gets himself that double kill.
Double kill indeed. Something that I think GODFRYZZ finds finally what he wanted to do. He found the opening. He slayed a lot of champions there. I think he did 4 eliminations out of that, and that's what is keeping Pavallione alive right now. Drogos with a little bit of damage being output here, but it looks like Makoa is really unfazed here, even up against the Fernando. Actually gonna push him out of that. There's gonna be the Grumpy Bomb gonna connect on the Fernando. It's gonna be hooked. Perfect connection with the combo there, but will they be enough to kill this AMWN Fernando?
Farrell very low onto this Drogos, and this is a very drawn-out fight from FearUS. There is the ultimate from the Makoa, does have the Ancient Rage, and look at this. There is the Rukus into the front line, pushing them back. Does have that, well, repulsor shields just for the survivability. And this Farrell has to back away. He's being chased down a little bit. Does have the Fire Spit. Puts a little bit of good damage there, but gets flanked from behind by the BK.
By the BK. Indeed, overtime being pushed by FearUS here, but they only have 3 champions so far. Rukus, though, still surviving. Might get the kill.
Misses the hook.
Misses the hook, though, but Bok might bruise them so badly here.
Still pushing the payload. KingMOECCHI is doing such a good job in keeping himself alive for such a long time, but that should be our first round here. 1-1.
Wow, what an intense round. That's 1-1 for both of these teams, but of course Team FearUS gets the first capture of the point, which meant that they have slight an advantage in terms of the credit department. And I think what could be the item choices for Team Pavallione here, because I think that the Wrecker is a must for them. Can we see the item check there? Okay, so only 1 Wrecker though. I'm not quite sold with this.
Yeah.
Oh.
But again, it should be fine, because again,
well, that's a Drogos.
Yeah, this
though.
is a Drogos.
Yeah. Let us see if that will be a good decision from the side of Pavallione. With all due fairness, I think there's not any other hero that could really well benefit from the Wrecker.
Yeah, maybe AMW with the flamethrower.
Yeah, I guess. But
I don't know, but I don't think he has enough damage to do just that. RestrictedGOD goes for the King Bomb. Can he go a little bit sneaky beaky into the back line? I don't think that's gonna be just it. Dread Serpent actually able to keep the members of Pavallione a little bit alive here, but FearUS is still alive. There's so many Shaolin illusions in the jungle area.
Bok though is gonna get picked off by RestrictedGOD with the help of the Shaolin, but the point is being controlled by Pavallione as of the moment. It's gonna be big aggression from the Makoa, but he is surrounded by many champions.
Farrell does have that Dragon Punch, so he can at least kick, or again, like we said, punch the bejesus out of one of these tanks.
There you go.
If he can connect into the Ruckus or the Makoa, that should be good, but he does get the Bomb King. Still fine. If he can get another one, goes into the back line, looks for the rocket launch, rocket connection, looks for the one. Silence,
there you
Shaolin.
go.
So many illusions for this Shaolin, but he will not be able to survive.
Down.
And this should be Pavallione with the cap into the point. There's nobody to actually push it to overtime, and we are seeing Pavallione get some foothold in our Frog Isle second map.
There you go, the Drogos pick really paying dividends for the side of Pavallione, but I think it is GODFRYZZ with the Bok really decimating FearUS, really disorienting them, going to the backlines and just disrupting what aggression FearUS has always been doing, because FearUS, as we know, is a very aggressive team. They might be paying off right now. There's gonna be the Dredge Anchor connecting, but not gonna get the kill. King Bump once again.
Above, he's looking for the connection, just only gets the shot on the kill, or rather the damage onto the Fernando. Has to back away. Look at that, with a sliver of HP, gets away with the bomb, or rather with the Poppy Bomb, but still Pavallione with the push.
No, can't escape the law, and it looks like Pavallione might have just found their win here, because they could push it to 3 points right now, and this Bok is just paying dividends for the side of Pavallione, doing a lot of damage, a lot of flank kills. It's gonna be the hook missing, but still gonna get the kill on AMWN, but see if he can close out on the Bok.
Yeah, that's the thing here, but GODFRYZZ finally gets shut down. He has been doing quite a spectacle of jumps, kills, and everything to dazzle, or at least get Pavallione back on track against FearUS.
Against FearUS, indeed. Pavallione drops the Lex. They are quite being controlled by Team FearUS right now, but of course Team FearUS has still a lot of work to do. 56 minutes, that's plenty. 56 seconds, I mean, that's plenty of time for Team Pavallione to close out this payload. They just need to be patient and not go one by one against Team FearUS right now.
Leo does have the law, but if he can't get a good lineup, that might not be enough for him. Will he activate it just onto the Ying? He does, I believe he does have Death Hastens, so he really does have that good damage. But look at this, the balls on RestrictedGOD going in 1v1, gets the duel, wins it out for his team. And
well, that's a big kill.
Yeah, big kill indeed.
They are gonna control that 17
Godfreyz
seconds
does
left.
have Buck Wild.
Yeah. So all of his activities are up right now. Maybe he wants to get the flank, but he gets fooled by the Shaolin illusions. There you go.
He has to be
reaches
careful
the
there.
point.
Wow.
Oh.
You saw how Godfreyz panicked when he saw the Grumpy Bomb behind him.
Yeah. That means that the defense is successful despite Pavallione pushing the payload 90% with a lot of time left. That's 1 minute and 15 seconds left on their timer, but they didn't capitalize. They were quite impatient. And I see that GODFRYZZ bit off more than he could chew right there. He was being too aggressive on his buck. He paid the price there. Sadly for the side of Pavallione, despite having two objective captures early on to this game, will not get the third point. That's 2 for 2, and FearUS is still not out of this.
We're getting somewhat into what we can, I guess, call late game in terms of the items.
Yep.
You can see right now that GODFRYZZ already has a tier 3 cauterized with AMWN, and Farrell himself with a tier 3 wrecker on the side of, well, FearUS. It is the same for
Almost
RestrictedGOD
same,
and AstralGodMyuji.
KingMOECCHI with Resilience, of course, maxing that out. That means that 90% of the crowd control coming out of Pavallione will be ineffective. That will be, that is so much value that you can get out of dealing with the Dread Serpent. Of course, Dread Serpent will just last, I think, 1 second if it connects onto the Makoa, of course, because of his Resilience, which is not a lot of not a lot. And the ultimates are actually up 4 for 4 here, and FearUS will get the Bomb King ultimate in just a few seconds here if he lands, of course. 96%, trickling down to 100%.
I don't really like the positioning here from Leo too much. You can actually just wrap around, go real behind on his opponents, and maybe get the catch off. He has a good lineup for a huge possible
Bomb
the law here.
There you go. Still not gonna land. They used 2 ultimates, but not gonna get a kill on anyone right now. Team FearUS is. But there you go. It took long enough for them, but they still get 4. That is quite a good beat down from the side of Team FearUS. I don't know. Maybe there was a bit of a problem on the side of Pavallione. They had to pause right now. But look at that. The usage of the ultimate wasn't on point to the fact that they will get the kills out of those ultimates. But after the long drawn fights, it was indeed Team FearUS who gets up on top. I think the positioning, like you said earlier from Leo, wasn't that perfect, and as compared to what the Bomb King did, with of course a lot of damage with the sticky bombs.
I really think he just could have just gone to the sidelines. But again, there's so much power coming out from RestrictedGOD on this Bomb King. He's basically somewhat of a same effect to a Drogoz, where you just spam a lot of fire spits into the middle and then hope for a huge damage. That's basically what the Poppy Bomb does, and the sticky bombs as well.
Objective has been captured by FearUS. Suddenly, they are on the lead, 3 points to 2. Look at that. The Drogoz, good fire spit there to start off the fight. Might get a good salvo here, but he's not going to capitalize.
Can he actually follow this up, as that was actually a good ultimate already from the Moldamba.
That is true.
He doesn't need it. He does have enough damage already with the rocket launchers on this Drogoz. Gets this double kill as well.
Dragon Punch is available for this Pavallione, for this Farrell Drogoz. Will he capitalize on this? They can use this offensively, but their tank is not up, so maybe they are reserving this for a full 5v5 engagement. That's what we're seeing right now. But FearUS has positioned themselves well around the payload with the helm of their 2 tank lineup. There's going to be a good Grumpy Bomb.
Yeah,
can zone out.
You can see what FearUS are doing right here. Basically, they're just putting their cannons into the front line, obviously, and then using the Grumpy Bomb to slowly but surely push back Pavallione here. And then when there's someone actually out of position, just go aggressive and get for a pickoff. And this is just what is happening right now for FearUS.
Look at
Flanking that. Makoa comes in, but not going to be too good.
His aim, effective. The aim duel favored the legs, of course, there. Look at that, the Drogoz just zoning out Team FearUS right now. They cannot get into the point. I don't know, 1 minute in, there's still a lot of footwork.
GODFRYZZ does get shut down. He was a little bit too aggressive as he tries to tries to chase RestrictedGOD from the sidelines. And big hug indeed. Farrell, can he get away? He does! But
oh no.
Not too long.
Not too long, I guess, with
with the follow-up from
the Bomb King.
Yeah, from the Bomb King.
That is worth. Thank you for that. But of course, still the most important thing for both of these teams is the payload. Again, if Team Pavallione loses this, they will get defeated. But here we are
into the clutch time. Here we go. Can they actually stop the push from FearUS? 20 seconds left into the clock. Pavallione have to actually just rush this in, trickle it in to maybe get this. But here comes AstralGodMyuji, uses the ultimate, tries to shred in everybody, but there's the Dragon Punch, comes out from the Drogos, shuts him down, but Pavallione are getting just fragged left and right here. Can they actually do the best that they can to get this payload, to stop, to actually push this into a Game 4, or will it be FearUS with a 3-0 and maybe clear out this game, go into Dreamhack Valencia and be that representative for Southeast Asia? Agnical still into the sidelines, going in, pushing the payload, pushing it into overtime, but it looks like Pavallione have found that formula. We're going into the final death round, 3-3.
3-3 indeed. That punch though, shutting down the Rookies. As tanky as you are, you cannot survive the Dragon Punch. That's 100% connection, but this is very crucial for Pavallione. They have two ultimates up on their arsenal right now because this is some of their lead heading into this game. It is a very interesting item pickup on the deft hands though.
Well, makes sense.
It makes sense for iShawshanks, of course, because he can heal his teammates with his left clicks, which of course will then up their healing output. But right now, this is the crunch time. 3-4-3. Whoever gets the dibs onto the point will win this. And if FearUS gets this one, they will be the champions.
So that's what we're going to call capping of point now, dibs.
I guess so.
I like it. But GODFRYZZ is unflinched. He's just going in aggressive, but there's the Ancient Rage coming out from this Makoa. Gets in the hook, goes in slap, gets the double kill as well, pushes back to Fernando. And the FearUS with the damage as well. GODFRYZZ is not having a good time at all. He's not getting the shutdown on his Makoa. He's doing the best that he can, but no, GODFRYZZ so salty and gets shut down. Not the best of times for the carry of Pavallione here.
Clutch heal from the Ying makes his stack alive, and here comes Shaolin just dealing the snipes.
60%, no ultimates from Pavallione. They really have to push themselves to the brink of the limit, and this could be it. Your winners could be FearUS. A couple more points, and this should be it. AMW trying to push himself into the point himself to maybe push into overtime. The Moldamba is here dealing the damage, but still Pavallione are trickling in. They're dying one after the other, and here we are. Good game, well played, unless somebody from Pavallione can actually sneak into the point.
The answer is no.
Your winners for this best of 5 is FearUS.
KingMOECCHI with the clutch once again. Of course, the other members were also really clutch, but I would just like to highlight what KingMOECCHI did there. He kind of maximized all of his resources. First, he used the shield, and then when the shield was down, of course, he's gonna be dealt with damage. And just at the point where he was about to die, he pops the Ancient Rage. Of course, that will max out his HP. He will be having more HP after that, and then he's gonna deal a lot of damage. Even the Buck, who is kind of free hitting against him, didn't land the kill because he's too damn tanky, and it was the Ying who really just saved him from the from dying there at the last moment.
Yeah, the other thing is, why would you use Buck to actually go for a frontliner?
That is true.
He's a flank champion. You have to go for the squishier targets because that's where Buck is going to be shining. I mean, he does have a shotgun. He does have good amount of damage, but then Makoa, he does, he has, what, 4,000 HP? I think? And then he activates the Ancient Rage, gets even more HP, has the shell for even more
effective HP, I guess.
Effective HP, and then nothing.
Yeah, I mean, as much as you can deal with, you can have a lot of damage with the Buck, as well as your aim is good. Even though you have all those aspects, if you go on a bad target to choose, you're just gonna lose the fight.
Yeah.
And that's what happened right there at the very last minute of our match.
Great game from both of these teams. What a best of 5. Even though it was 3-0, you could really see Pavallione give it to,
that is true,
to FearUS, but
make them work hard for their money right there, even after the 3-0, like what you said. But of course,
at the end of the day,
it's gonna be
FearUS.
FearUS, who's gonna represent Southeast Asia onto the hashtag Road to Dreamhack Valencia later into July. They are your C champions.
All right, so that ends our SEA Qualifiers tournament. Guys, that was such a great game. And of course, before we do end our stream, we would like to thank everybody who has supported, well, our coverage of our tournament here for the Southeast Asia Regional Qualifiers for Dreamhack Valencia. Special thanks to our sponsors, Split Media Labs, Hi-Rez Studios, Team Spooky, and of course...
Elite Global Sourcing, of course, the man behind the scenes. You have Shift A, you have Jay Blaze, the one and only, and of course, Jumps to Mario.
Yes, and of course to you guys who have been very diligent and supportive of our teams. And, of course, aside from that, let's have our giveaway for, I believe, the final Founders Pack code.
The final Founders Pack code. There you go. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to us. This has been a great day for Paladins, and this is just the start. This is just the beginning of the development of esports here in Southeast Asia for Paladins.
And you have to take note, guys, that FearUS are going to be going up against titans from other regions such as District 69 and Astral Authority.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a very interesting
indeed.
Tournament at Valencia. Hopefully we get the chance to actually cover that.
Yeah. And wow, because you've been too good right now, there's going to be another Founders Pack code that will be given away. There you go. Whoever gets the first unlock will, of course, get it for themselves. And if you see that the redemption code has been already claimed, well, sadly, it's just for one player who's going to get it.
Yes. And what do you think about the game? I mean, for me, this has been such a great finals. I mean, the other games were a little bit lopsided, a little bit lackluster, but you did really see how some teams had that real good pedigree as veterans.
Yeah, if a team knows what they want to do, they execute it pretty well. It's so fun to watch the combos that you can see, and the fact that they can anticipate, for example, the flankers and then kill them right before it. I think that's very amazing to see from Paladins, because that's the pattern when we see for esports. If you know what the enemy can do and you know what you can do, that means that your esports scene is really flourishing in terms of competitiveness.
Yeah, true that. And there's a lot of, I would say, debate going in over the Twitch chat or even possibly Reddit, where they say that SEA is the best region for Paladins right now. Why not?
Look at the action. I really like the aggressive plays from FearUS, but still very clinical in a way, very systematic in terms of their draft as well as their teamfight execution. So I don't know, maybe it is true, but let's see, because the road to DreamHack will determine if indeed Southeast Asia is one of the best regions.
Yeah, and of course, after that, way down the road, maybe next year, or I think December, of course, it's going to be Hi-Rez Expo.
Of course, wow.
Hopefully, we do get our SEA teams also, ready for that other tournament that they can join. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm Asarai, one hell of a beast, and here with me now is
Wolf, the other beast. Thank you for watching. We'll be back, I don't know.
Next time.
Next time, I guess. But it has been a good day, and I hope you had also a good day. Yes. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.